All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, VLE Express, celebrating 29 years on the air. I'm Frankie Zahn.
And I'm Mark.
Okay, we got a lot to catch up here, too. Basically, we took some time off, and the last movies we reviewed was Fast and Furious and King Kong, Skull Island. And, of course, they're both being released this month on Blu-ray. And Fast and Furious is actually, number 11. One of the biggest grossers of all time, only to be beaten by Beauty and the Beast. Number 10, the biggest musical of all time at the box office. More than was it Sound of Music and West Side Story? I don't get that.
Wow. Because there are more people live now. They have the money to go to movie theaters, and we're alive back then.
Beauty and the Beast was boring. God, it was boring. Talking about musicals, the last couple of shows I mentioned, The Greatest Showman. If you guys, did you see the trailer? Yes, it finally got released. That's the movie where me and a couple other background actors worked on for about 3 months. Okay, and then finally people said, what movie are you talking about, Frank? That's the movie, The Greatest Showman, about the beginnings of P.T. Barnum before he got together with the Ringling Brothers Circus. Anyway, so that trailer is finally out. I'll be talking more about that when we get to that, when the movie comes out about the holidays. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to go down our list over here. Of course, the two best pictures, Spiderman, Wonder Woman, and Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes is kicking Spidey's ass this weekend, 2-1 at the box office, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Yep. Spider-Man made $22 million. And, Planet of the Apes made $22 million on Friday, and Spidey only made $13 million this weekend. We figured Spider-Man be like number one for 2 weeks, like Wonder Woman. So at the end of this weekend, probably Apes $65 million, Spidey only $40 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, but
so people love apes.
They made a monkey out of me, I tell you that. But let me tell you,
more apes in movies.
You were saying that before.
Yeah. I was saying that the more, because I was saying how Marvel and DC at one point were having competitions who could put more apes in their comic books, because they said that apes draw money.
Well, obviously that's what's happening right now. Okay.
Put an ape in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that movie sucked. Okay.
That's what they got to do.
Let's run up the top 5.
Okay.
Despicable Me 3 is number 3. And Baby Driver, I saw that this morning. Great film. That's at number 4. And The Big Sick, the romantic comedy. That came out of nowhere. These are running up the top 5. Okay, Wonder Woman is still hanging in the top 10. She's right now, according to Hollywood Reporter and Variety magazine, she's one of the biggest superhero movies that has lasted this long. If anybody saw my blog, what's the blog, Frank? Very simple. Go to Google, type in VLE Express, it will take you to the blog. The website, there's no more. Okay, what happened? Well, basically, I got tired of doing a website and the blog. So the blog is everything, okay? So just go to the blog, Google it, and you will find it. Normal website, and on the blog every week, I've been really following up on Wonder Woman, and no pun intended, but she did have legs. Legs is a term in the Hollywood business if somebody comes out of the box office and dies, like you mentioned House with Will Ferrell.
It was in the house, right? In the house.
Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
Nobody went to see it. It came out last weekend. It's gone from the top 10 already. Well. No legs. See what I mean, folks? But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do my Clark Kent now, put my reading glasses, and we're gonna catch up with all these movies. We're gonna give a quick review, and we're gonna save the best for last. Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, and Apes. I didn't see Apes. Mark did, so we're going to end the show on a good note, talking about Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. Now, from the top where we left off, okay? Guardians, I hated it.
Too much you hate about it?
Okay, too much time with Kurt Russell and the father bit, okay? Not enough Groot, I hate the blue guy, and those two chicks are constantly arguing and fighting each other. Movie sucked. I should have more Groot.
Why don't you tell us what you really think?
Okay, I'm going to save that for my radio show and the blog. Okay, what do you think?
I thought
we have an audience with us today, so don't mind the extra soundtrack, but go ahead.
I heard that Chris Pratt, from what it seemed, it wasn't really that interested in the movie. From what it seemed, it looked like he was dialing it in. It looked like he wasn't interested in it. I think he's probably done with it. So his next one, he'll probably be probably sitting in a chair, and they'll probably CGI him in a lot of the scenes.
Well, everybody knows the Guardians are going to be part of the whole Avengers Infinity War kind of thing.
Right.
They're going to be part of that.
Yep.
Guardians number 3, he wants it. With James Gunn, he's already writing the script.
No, good luck for that.
Yeah, I'll be home. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
King Arthur.
Yes.
I don't even know this guy. Charlie Hunnam. Little did I realize, you have to remind me, he was in Pacific Rim. He was that dude.
Yes, the guy from Pacific Rim, the movie that no one watched, yet it did a lot of money in overseas.
Yeah, and especially in China.
I loved it.
He also did Lost City of Z. Everybody was talking about, what a great picture, Frank. You got to see it. Better than a bottle of sleeping pills. That thing put me to sleep. The only reason I'm mentioning this film is because Tom Holland, our beloved Spidey, yes, he's in the movie playing the son of Charlie Hunnam. I cannot recommend Lost City of Z unless you really need sleep and you haven't been sleeping. Put the movie on. You'll fall asleep within the first 10 minutes. Next, Alien Covenant.
Yes.
You didn't see it?
No, I knew I didn't have to bother myself with it. I mean, no, I'm not trying to put it down, but I knew, just by the trailers, like, okay, been there, seen it.
Okay, it's up there with the Guardians. Suck.
It's no aliens.
Yeah, I mean, they showed a little bit the variations of babies, the baby alien coming out of people. Boring, and then you finally see the big alien at the last 10 minutes of the movie. Sucked. I'm fed up with.
Should we say spoilers?
It's all about the friggin' engineers and David the android, and they did the same exact thing of what they did with Sigourney Weaver in number 3, where they killed off the little girl. They showed off the robot and the guy who helped them. Remember, and the end of Aliens 2, it was Sigourney Weaver, the soldier, and the little girl. And in number 3, they decided, let's kill off the 2 other characters and just have Sigourney Weaver, and then let's put her in a bald head. Okay? Over here, remember the last movie of Alien Prometheus? And it's David the alien with the chick.
Right.
He kills the chick off right at the beginning of the movie. Spoiler. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're trying to be politically correct.
Okay. Yes. Hate. Baywatch.
We're gonna do a hate chants. Hate.
See, my point I'm making is, people say, you're gonna take 2 months off because I have to go out of town business. You have to take 2 months, so you're gonna miss all these movies. Did we really miss anything? No. Nothing but sequels, bad sequels. Okay.
Yep.
And this keeps up next summer. I'm taking all next summer off. Okay. Screw the 30 years. Okay. Baywatch. Let's set the better.
Didn't see it.
Okay, you didn't miss anything.
I know.
Only when
I think they were trying to give me a free DVD as I left the train station. I still didn't want it. And I think it was still in the theater at that point.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. All I can say is that The Rock better watch out with Jumanji. That did not look good, and Baywatch sucked.
The Rock will bounce back. He can make a whole bunch of terrible movies. Nobody's can. It's sort of like his wrestling career. He lost a lot of times, but since he was the people's champion, they didn't care how many times he lost, as long as he came back.
What do you think about him? What do you think about him running?
I think that is all a joke.
You think so?
Yeah. If anything, it seems.
I think you can pull it off.
I don't think it's a joke. I don't think he would ever do it. It seems like a whole thing like that movie, Idiocracy.
Right.
I
remember that. Right.
Where they had the wrestler become president. The powers that be are behind this whole scheme to just try to do a remake of Idiocracy 2. So they want to probably make The Rock president, and this will probably be for the sequel.
Well, we already had an actor, Ronald Reagan. He was an actor before he became a president, right?
Right. But most of these presidents
Arnold became governor.
Yeah, but most of these presidents we've had haven't been that great. So.
Yeah.
But I don't think it doesn't seem logical to me.
Talking about not so great.
Yes.
The Mummy, Tom Cruise.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard a lot about it. I don't want to say anything negative about Tom Cruise because he has a lot of power. So I'm gonna abstain from that.
Okay.
Even if I saw it, I'm still gonna say I didn't see it.
Okay,
just not to say anything negative.
Okay, no, I gotta admit, the movie was kind of fun. There was a lot of action, except that whole thing about the MonsterVerse. They're trying to connect the pieces where they're gonna. It's the concept. The concept sucks.
No, it would have been a good idea. It would have been like
teaming all these monsters together.
Extraordinary Gentlemen, right? Like a league of extraordinary gentlemen.
They almost pulled that off, right? I can see that, but it doesn't work for the here.
Yeah, you had a vampire. You had the Invisible Man. You had Dorian Gray. You had Quinn, the shootist.
Right,
Captain Nemo.
Right.
You know.
If they had the right budget, they could have pulled it off.
That could have happened.
But
I kind of liked it. It could have happened.
I just don't like the concept. But it's, the Mummy, I actually say I would give it 3 out of 5. There is a lot of action. I think the problem is Tom Cruise was miscast. But it's not that. That's not the main problem. The main problem was the concept of them trying to put all these monsters together. It's like doing the same thing with Godzilla. It's the organization called the Monarch. They're trying to get all these creatures together underneath one umbrella. I don't like that concept. But this, well, never mind. Next, I'm going to skip this one here. Okay, Cars 3. No more Cars 4. Instead, the president of Pixar decided they're going to do a variation Cars and Plane. Remember planes? They had little faces on them. Yeah. They're going to do a sort of a sequel to Cars 3 with that. The good news is that we finally, the hell with Cars. The movie sucked. Incredibles.
I thought you were going to say the president quit or resigned because of that movie.
No,
Cars 3 at Pixar.
No, they went because the movie. Actually, the movie's not doing good overseas. They're going ahead, and we're going to get the Incredibles. Remember the Incredibles?
Wonderful.
They finally greened that light. Yeah.
Oh, it took them that long.
I've been saying on the blog, say, why are we getting Cars 3? What's Incredibles? Marvel's coming up with the past 20 years of superheroes. They're sitting on the gold mine, and they're not coming up with Incredibles. Yeah. Well, Cars tanked, and they're coming out with Incredibles.
You mean the rip-off to Fantastic Four?
Basically, yeah. And there's rumors that now Fantastic Four might go into Infinity War. Not Infinity War that we know that's coming out. There's going to be a part 2 to that, but they're not calling it Infinity War. And supposedly, Fantastic Four, they're trying to put them in the next one.
Oh, nice.
That would work. Good. Well, it doesn't work. Transformers. Okay, this is a good laugh. They, the studios. Hey, Transformers made $500 million. Okay, the other movies made $1 billion.
Yes,
this one didn't. Take away China's box office, $200 million. Take away $100 million they made in the U.S. And basically, the profit is only $200 million, which is exactly what the movie cost. So they're barely breaking even. It looks like it's going to be the end of that franchise, but they're going to have spin-offs. And Bumblebee got the green light, and they're going ahead with it already. Sad. I know, sad. Okay.
Yeah, because you have two great concepts people love to you have cars and robots. How could that go wrong?
Well, this backfired. China thought the whole thing was confusing. Did anybody see King Arthur? Do not talk about knights and shining armor, okay? That concept does not work with robots.
Like I was saying to Frank, when you're going to show a movie overseas, do less of this and more of this,
Yeah, exactly.
Robots fighting or something. Less blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, rock'em sock'em robots, okay?
Yeah, just do that. But people overseas love that.
The only thing good about Transformers was that Anthony Hopkins, and he had like a robot butler, which was kind of funny. It reminded me of C-3PO. We'll leave it as that. Oh, Baby Driver, very underrated, is back in the top 5, believe it or not. That's a 4 out of 5. A great cast, real stunts, real cars, and everything like that. I definitely recommend that. Okay, Despicable Me, just me. I love the little guys. Okay, Minions. Okay, where's my little guys there? Yeah, there we go. Patadoo, banana, mango. Okay, saying hello to somebody special in Puerto Rico. Anyway, Despicable Me, better than number 2, and just as good as Minions. Some people didn't like Minions, so you probably like Despicable Me 3 better. Anyway, and Okja, the little girl, the cute little girl with an oversized super thingy pig of a creature. The tone drove us nuts. I mean, the tone is funny, it's drama, is sad. Then it's funny again. I talk about mood shift, up and down swing shift. Oh, I couldn't take it. I
give it being in a relationship almost.
Well, I gave it like a 3 out of 5. But you know, this was filmed on Wall Street and New York City, and a lot of the casting guys were really pissed off the way they went about it. But I'll mention that more on my blog. Okay, let's get to the juicy stuff. Wonder Woman is breaking all kinds of records. Spiderman, and the Apes. So let's start off.
Apes.
Spidey or Wonder Woman? Which one?
We could start off. We'll leave the best for last.
Okay.
So we start off with Wonder Woman, and then maybe we leave Spider-Man for last.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
What do you think about? I know you love Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Wonder Woman? She's got a great pair of legs.
Yeah.
Skirt.
She's got legs and then some at the box office.
And like a horse, if you don't have legs, I got to shoot you.
I gotta admit, when I first I never put two together. This was the girl from the Fast and the Furious movies. And when they picked her, I said, but she's a skinny little thing. She was perfect for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And she did it when she was pregnant.
Arts, yeah, she knows martial arts. She used to be in the Israeli army.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Kick butt.
Yeah. The big sequence in the trenches.
Yes.
She did that, but she was pregnant.
Wow.
That's a toughie. Let me tell you, that's a tough girl. Okay, break all kinds of records, and somebody said, "Well, it's about maybe this weekend, $10 million away from breaking the Guardians of the Galaxy at the box office." Okay,
good for her.
And she's $100 million away from beating Batman versus Superman, but.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, but let's say
Batman and Superman really did make money.
It did make money, but it didn't break the $1 billion mark. And don't forget, you're talking about two icons, Batman and Superman. And Batman himself has crossed over the $1 billion mark on his solo movies. This movie, Batman vs. Superman, did not cross the $100 million mark. Of course, some fans say, no, Wonder Woman doesn't count. She cannot beat Batman vs. Superman. You don't have a chick beating two superhero guys with less than $100 million at the box office. I'm sorry, the winner here is Wonder Woman. She did it all by herself.
Yes.
More power to her.
Yep.
But, okay, we got 10 minutes here? Okay. Now, Spider-Man. You think Spider-Man is better than Wonder Woman, or Wonder Woman is better? Because these are like the two big movies right now.
Wonder Woman, I have to say, is better. There's more action. It's a better pace. I just hope they have something good for the next one.
The only thing about the Wonder Woman yet, being a little bit picky, which is at the very end.
How dare you?
I have to stick it in.
They're gonna start writing. Yeah, they're gonna start writing you saying you're just hating. You're trying to press women.
No, I do give it 4 out of 5. It was just that ending was kind of stretched out, and we did mention it was the same effect as Spider-Man when they kind of stretched it out a little bit.
Well, at least
the 2 hours. I mean, Baby Driver was 2 hours, and the movie went fast.
Well, okay, she was driving a car. She had to walk.
Yeah,
wait till they give her the ability to fly, then they'll probably go a little faster.
Right.
They should fight, fight flying robots and flying cars or something like that. And
right.
They could leave even more money.
Well, the next movie is going to take place, what is it, the 80s or something? They already got the concept for it. I think it's going to take place.
I thought it was like it would have to be the 80s because the 70s has been done to death. So I think it was going to be 80s. I heard something also about it. But yeah, definitely it's going to be the 80s. Yeah,
they didn't want to go to the 70s because of the TV show. Remember the TV show with Linda Carter? So they're trying to avoid that. But the funny thing is, they're saying that Chris Pine is going to come back.
No spoilers. Chris Pine. That's tough.
Well, for those who didn't see Wonder Woman, because you were probably waiting for the Blu-ray, let's just say that he leaves her at the end of the movie and breaks her heart. And that he's not supposed, that he's never coming back. For those who know the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But if that's the case, then how is he going to come back then?
There's many different ways. It could be
science fiction. Nobody really dies in the movies.
Yeah, it's sort of like in Wonder
They brought
Woman,
back Spock from the dead for crying out loud.
The TV show, It was based on what, World War II? It was World War II, and she had that captain with her, and then I don't know. It goes 50 years later, and that's his son or his nephew or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they could do that. That's either his son or his nephew. Well, it can't be the son, but it's going to be the nephew or something. No.
Well, is that almost the same thing like Planet of the Apes? For those, the original 5-part series, the original one was starring Roddy McDowell. He played Cornelius, okay? And then he gets killed off in the third movie, but Ricardo Montalban, who played Khan, and of course he played...
We're trying to see how all this reverts back to Chris Pine. You're trying to play 6 Degrees of Chris Pine, right?
I'm getting there. Okay, so Cornelius gets killed off, but he has a son, Caesar. So already you're saying that his son can come back like Caesar. Because supposedly, now you saw Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen it.
I don't want to do any spoilers, because then the fans will probably hate on us and not want to see the show. But hey, if you want to burn the bridges, go ahead. Burn those bridges. Because eventually all bridges must burn.
Yeah, well...
Don't leave that tip also.
Well,
go for it.
Well, we got one more year on Eminence, so,
before they kick us off?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as burning the bridges, everybody's watching this as a repeat on the DVDRs, whatever you call it, the machine with playback.
Okay, hopefully.
Or they can also watch the show on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So, they can turn it off right now and catch the rest of the show on YouTube if you don't want to know about that spoiler. So,
okay.
There's always a way to get around it. But the concept is...
We try to burn some bridges here.
Okay, but the concept is nobody really dies. I mean, once...
Nobody dies, yeah.
And right, in these pictures, like Spock, when he got killed at the end of the Wrath of Khan, and they brought him back in such a Spock. From that point on, going forward, nobody can really die in the movie.
No, nobody ever dies.
Sigourney Weaver, she died in Avatar. Spoiler alert, burning my bridges. But she's coming back. She's signed. She's coming back. So
you could do a DNA or something absurd like that. Come up with a concept like, oh yeah, we always had a DNA somewhere, and then we're just going to bring it back to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's the planet Pandora. I mean, it's friggin' sci-fi.
No one dies.
Who needs logic, for crying out loud,
If you saw the Fast and Furious movies and you enjoyed that, there's no logic. No logic, no respecting physics, not respecting the audience, not working with a plot.
Anti-gravity, big time.
MacGuffins everywhere.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. Fast 5 really pushed the envelope where they and what was that? I believe they in the 4. He's arrested, and he's in the bus, going to prison.
Right.
And his crew there comes from behind, and they disrupt everything. They threw the bus off motion, and the bus goes off the highway, and it tumbles. I count every time I see that scene. I count 10, 11, or 12 because of the editing.
Yes.
Boom, 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 and then you see the news report. Well, there was some minor injuries. What? Every bone in your body would be broken if the bus would go over 12 times.
It could have been one of those buses like Mercedes makes. They always make sure the driver survives. I've heard of those cars. I've seen it on YouTube too. Like a Mercedes vehicle, like it's driving, and all of a sudden flipped, and it's convertible, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, the rear bar pops up, and the driver survives.
He survives.
Maybe that's what happened.
Okay, but the funny thing is, the next scene after that, you see Vin Diesel with a Band-Aid.
Poor baby.
He should have had, if he survived, anybody survived, he would have like a collar thing,
So you should say he had a little Band-Aid and a little cut over here.
Yeah, and so right there, the movie's telling you, you got a choice. Either go along with this, or you're not going to have a good time at the movies. So
it's like science fiction.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. And the funny thing about the Fast and the Furious is one of the writers has already been mentioning that, well, we had a submarine, like one of the James Bond movie.
Yes.
Now they're talking about, who knows, maybe they might go into outer space. That's one of the writers.
We were joking about that, yeah.
We were joking about that. The writer said, hey, I think they might have an idea there.
No, they don't. They don't have an idea. That's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea. Whoever came up with that, they should leave him alone with a gun and one bullet. And you know what to do with this.
And stick him on an island all by himself.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay, there you go.
Put him in an island, put him in solitary confinement, make sure no one finds this guy again.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad idea.
The bad idea. But they're actually going to go ahead with that. Okay, so now, out of the big three movies, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Apes, what should people see?
Well, we haven't even spoken about Spider-Man yet.
Oh.
We didn't. Did we speak about Spider-Man?
No, we barely did.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We will leave last. Now this is Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
I give it 4 out of 5. Again, my only little complaint.
Remember, this is his recommendations. I'm not saying this.
Okay, is at the end they kind of stretched it out with him and the Vulture. Okay, and it really didn't add up to anything. As far as moving the plot forward, but then they kind of dragged it out when he meets Tony Stark. Is in the trailer, folks. Him and Tony Stark talk. It's near the end of the movie, and he said, "This is your new Spider-Man suit," and we're like, "Can we move this on?" Of course, they're trying to fit it for Infinity War, but the thing I love about Spider-Man was the post-credit scene, the final one.
Yeah, because they're like 2.
Right.
Should we spoil it?
Well, we're going off the air in a minute. They can switch channels if they want. It's all over the internet.
Burn the bridges. Go for it.
Burn the bridges, okay?
Oh, man.
Okay.
No tip.
No, the reason I'm saying this is because Captain America ends the credit at the very end saying, boys and girls, sometimes it pays to be patient. After 8 minutes of credit roll, including one post-credit, he finally shows up after 8 minutes. And believe it or not, people stayed in the theater and they were laughing at it.
Yeah. Basically,
I thought that was funny. Yeah. That took a lot of gold, though, but...
I yelled out, you wait for nothing.
Yeah.
And you rewarded for nothing for waiting that long, you idiot.
Yeah. Captain America, thanks for being patient. Yeah. I kind of liked it.
I better give up my summation real quick. We only have 30 seconds.
Go for it.
So, okay, Spider-Man, I think it dragged too long. I'm sorry to say this. It spent too much time with the buddy aspect, I guess, because they didn't want to spend so much money on the fight scenes and the CGI. It sort of was obvious. If you read comic books of Spider-Man, they used to do that. They used to stretch out the story into 5 comic books so they can make $5 instead of $1. Oh, now we got 4 minutes. Time's up. 5 seconds.
They should have put a gorilla in Spider-Man. It would have made more money. There we go.
We're off.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody.
We're off already, but now if you want, we can continue for YouTube fans.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about that. I shouldn't have said the spoiler. Oh, well.
You could have left it till last.
Oh, well, sorry.
That's what I'm talking about. No tip. That's when you leave no tip for the audience.
Okay, let's go. Let's go
more deeply into Planet of the Apes and Spider-Man?
Yeah. Okay, we didn't cover that much.
Yeah, we covered Wonder Woman. We both love it.
Yeah.
It's straight across the board. We loved it. All right.
One little trivia for the YouTube fans.
Go for it.
Okay. I believe her name is Patty Jenkins. She's the director. She's coming back. I think she did an excellent job.
It's not like she wrote it. I always laugh when they try to give the director so much credit.
Well, no, she did have input for the script because she wanted it to be lighter because because Michelle McLaren, the director. Actually, it was supposed to be darker. Michelle McLaren.
Don't make it that dark, but this is dark enough.
Michelle McLaren she's the producer and director of TV shows like the X-Files, Breaking Bad, and Game of Thrones. She directed me and the TV show that's coming up in September with James Franco, The Deuce. Very, very nice, sweet person, and very, very good director. She was supposed to direct Wonder Woman, but she wanted it darker. She didn't want to go for the humor thing.
Humor's good. Humor's good. You got to lighten up. It's called a dark humor, so it's good. You got to throw it in there once in a while.
I think that's what
the scenes absurdities. You got to throw it in there once. You
got to. I always said there was an article I got a post. It was in Variety. Should comic book heroes be dark or should they be light? And agree, it depends on the character. Spider-Man needs to be light because he's funny in the comic books.
Yes.
Fantastic Four, you have Ben Grimm with the funny one-liners, and he's always, having a beef with was it Johnny
Human
Storm?
Torch, yeah.
With the Human Torch, exactly. So you need that, okay?
Yes.
Superman needs to be light. He's too damn dark and solemn. He's boring. Superman is friggin' boring.
Well, some people think it's Superman just boring because no one could defeat him. They made him a god, so
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
That too.
Once you give somebody god powers, it's somebody like we were talking about before in video games. If you put the cheat code on and no one could stop you, the interesting part would be seeing the beginning and the end. But after that, you'd be like, okay, I've done this once. It's boring now. So that's what Superman is. He's in God mode. He can go through everybody, and there's no real interest in it. At least Batman there's an interest. There's the ability that he can dive, sort of like what we're saying with the movie. Now that we're in YouTube, I'm not sure how I can bash Tom Cruise in the Mummy movie, but they said one of the things that really blew it for the Mummy was when they gave him God mode powers, and there was no chance of him dying. And then you were like, oh my God, there's no chance of him dying. So there's nothing at stake.
Right.
There's nothing at stake. Same thing with Superman. Even though they kill him, he doesn't die.
Yeah, but we'll defend Tom Cruise in this respect. They gave him a sense of humor to his character. And also they made him vulnerable that he gets his ass kicked. That's why he became a god. Okay, so that kind of worked. With Superman, if you're gonna be a guy, you better have a sense of humor because people think you're gonna be boring.
Well, the whole thing is, Superman is kind of a boring character because there's nobody who can defeat him. There's nothing at stake.
But he was funny.
There's nothing at line. It doesn't even matter. You're funny. If there's nothing at stake, if there's no chance of you dying, there's nobody really like. Oh, well, okay. I'm going to see a Superman movie to see him beat up everybody. I already know how it ends. Superman wins.
Yeah, but no, he does have conflict, and I'm not talking about a Superman with
Lois Lane.
With the kryptonite. Him conflict as Clark Kent trying to keep a disguise, and the pictures with Christopher Reeve for Superman 1 and 2 back in the 70s, he was always trying to, with G. Lois, I don't know how he did that. Superman's pretty good guy, I think. G. Lois, I guess.
Listen, I'm sorry to say this.
And that was funny because, Superman is a god, but he is doing the human interest, and then that was funny because he's trying to be a lovable, a dead human being. It
really never made sense to me.
I thought it was funny. It added humor.
No, I'm talking about the job part. If you're Superman, why would you even get a job? If you're Superman, what the heck do you care getting a job? I want to be a reporter. In this time.
Well, it's in a comic book, so he can be up close and get to know human beings, and being a reporter is a good angle.
In this time of this era of YouTube. I don't even think newspapers exist that much anymore. He should probably eventually he'll have his own blog thing where he just blogs everything, and then it'll be Clark Kent's blog, and he didn't have to waste time in newspaper because that probably.
Oh, that Lex Luthor, he's pissed me off again today.
He's a real jerk.
Yeah, third time this week. Him and his freaking kryptonite,
Some people say he really smells.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to work in a newspaper and come up with that stupid disguise. Just do a stupid blog, become a troll, a Superman troll, and that's it. Superman just trolls people, and he can make money off of Patreon for $2 a month. For people who say, "Oh, I really love this Superman troll." He really knows how to troll the heck out of it.
Well, the concept of working for a newspaper is kind of like, okay,
it's stupid. It's lame.
Let him work for TMZ.
Those guys need writers. They're not funny. They're not funny. They need writers. They're so bad. I always watch that show. I get ticked off. I'm like, hire writers. Because you guys, I don't know what the show wants to be. In the beginning, they wanted to attack people, celebrities, and that was interesting. And then all of a sudden, they want to befriend the celebrities and ask them funny questions and be a comedy show. I'm like, when the hell did you jump the shark? What the hell are you trying to do? It's like, we want to be the Howard Stern show. It's like, you can't be the Howard Stern show. You're not funny. It's ridiculous.
I haven't seen the Howard Stern show in a couple months. Is he still funny?
Well, he's funny. He's funny because if you used to watch the old shows and you remember the old bits, he still does the old bits.
But I remember. I'm
just saying that they're trying to be. In the beginning, they were supposed to be mean-spirited. TMZ, you were supposed to see, and it was supposed to be a troll show. You were just trolling people. And all of a sudden, they wanted to become the Howard Stern show, where they wanted to be friend people, make fun of them, but have them come on and ask them silly jokes like Stuttering John would, like come on and attack Billy Crystal.
It's funny, talking about trolling, Howard Stern interviewed Roger Waters from Pink Floyd, and the people were writing in. It's like, why does Howard Stern keep cutting Roger Waters? Let him answer a question. You keep cutting him off and stuff like that.
And it was excited to see Roger Waters, and it's like you see your idol and you don't want him to talk.
Yeah.
You just keep interrupting because you want to put your stupid question out there for you can know that you're interested in it. You can make them boyfriends.
Yeah, I mean, the people were, they were mean and nasty. I'm also asking a question. How come on our YouTube we don't put comments? And some people do not know how to behave themselves.
Yeah, people are trolls.
That's why we don't. We don't allow any commenting.
Please.
And I don't have the time to monitor over 100 comments that say, guys, what's with the spoilers, man? And how come your show's only in 2 weeks, man? And where the hell were you, Frank, for the past 2 months? Avoiding these damn sequels. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, or worse, you have those trolls that will say everything from bigoted comments to something insensitive.
Yeah, And I mean, we've been on
that. You want to do that? Call Howard Stern.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on for almost 30 years, and we heard everything in the book. So to us, it's kind of boring. But now, Planet.
Okay.
Apes.
Yeah, Apes. Because Wonder Woman. Okay, now Planet Apes. All right. Yeah, I thought it was a beautiful, lighthearted movie.
Apes.
Apes. Yeah, it was. It was beautiful. It was lighthearted.
But the destruction of mankind.
Well, they're building up a beautiful story leading to it, giving you a reason why they're doing it.
Okay.
So they're building a beautiful story, building of the destruction of mankind. In other words, saying that he probably deserves it. That's the way they build it. It's like,
well, we know that. We know that. Yeah, the human race does have a good kick in the ass.
It's like exactly. It's like Caesar's representation of the planet. And man is a representation of me poking Caesar in the eyeball like that every 5 seconds. And eventually he's going to smack your hand off, which is a planet, and choke you.
Okay.
Because you keep poking him in the eyeball.
Okay.
So it's basically saying Caesar has a right because you keep poking him. Stop poking him in the eye.
Okay. How was Woody Harrelson as the villain, though?
He was really hateful. You really wanted to, kick his butt. So I'm not sure if that was acting or if that was just Woody Harrelson. Because a lot of people hate this guy and they really want to kick him in his butt. Every movie he's in, people are like, I can't stand Woody Harrelson. There are blogs out there. People say they hate his guts, so he plays a great villain. You put him in any movie, and instantly people will take a dislike to him. Not me. It's not me, Woody Harrelson. I have no problem with you. Please, don't write letters to me. Don't attack me. I don't think I have a problem with you at all. These other people are saying, I'm just relaying what they're saying about you.
Leave the lawyers at home. It's funny because remember the Cowboy Way?
Yes.
With Kiefer Sutherland?
Yes.
They filmed that over by my neighborhood near the Manhattan Bridge. Okay? And they were filming there. And I didn't see Woody Harrelson, but my friends said him, and then he was like so busy that he couldn't be bothered with autographs, mainly because he was jumping like from one scene to another, which I understood. My friends, my friends didn't understand that, and already my friends were trashing him. And I said, guys, he was in the middle of probably doing a scene.
Yeah, what are you going to do with those autographs? You might take them all, this is beautiful, and then throw in the garbage.
Yeah. Meantime, I met Kiefer Sutherland, and he was the nicest guy. He actually stopped and signed my autograph and stuff like that. This is before selfies, folks. That's the old days, asking autographs. So a lot of times you'll be surprised. Like I met Jennifer Lopez, and for a while said, and people were asking me.
You should have called me when you said that she was near. I would have loved to take a selfie for you.
We weren't allowed to use our phones.
No, you should have called me. I would have shown up over there and taken a picture with her. It's not about you.
Next time.
It's not about you, dude. You're gonna help out a brother.
We were not allowed to use our phones during the filming.
I know. I was telling you, you should have text me or something.
We were not allowed to use that phone. No, I'm going to tell you.
You should have let me know a day in advance. Then I could have showed up and then you would say, hey, I didn't use my phone.
We're not allowed to use our phones. No,
you sequestered for 2 days?
Let me talk about Jennifer Lopez. This was real sweet.
Yes.
We were told as extras, and we were working right in the scene. The scene took place at the South Street Seaport. Anybody knows Pier 17, the upper half. Her premiere episode of season 2 is when she's waiting by the docks and she's waiting for her daughter to come off the boat. That, for you fans of Shades of Blue, you fans of Jennifer Lopez, that is the episode. That was the scene we filmed. Yes. Okay, and we have our orders. Do not look at Jennifer Lopez. Do not talk to Jennifer Lopez. Put away your phone. Do not take pictures. Do not text, or you'll be fired. That is the union rules. Okay. Right. Anyway,
I understand that. I have no problem with any of that.
Oh, no.
How dare you think you can look at Jennifer Lopez in the eyes?
Let me finish my story. No, wait.
Sorry about that.
The sweet part about it was that, we finished the scene. Everybody, it was dinner time. Break. Jennifer Lopez goes in this direction, and we had to go in that direction. Now, we're walking right alongside her. Again, we're not going to talk. All of a sudden, there must have been Ecuadorian or something because they were speaking Spanish, and 4 or 5 tourists, foreigners, they came up, mira Jennifer Lopez, mira. And she stopped, and they told him, Ms. Lopez, it's your break time, but you will only have a half hour for you to get in your van, to eat, and come back to finish the scene because they were losing light. And she said, no. Oh, I got to sign these autographs. And she took selfies and everything. She stopped dead in her tracks.
Wonderful. You see that?
I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, she's a cool person.
She could have said no. I don't have the time, but she didn't.
Yeah, I think she's a beautiful person. I don't care what the scum trolls say.
I had to say that story.
Garbage that say bad things about her. How dare they?
And somebody else told me another story where they were filming inside this bar, and one of the extras, he was in the union. He's allowed to say something, and he was at one end of the bar. And she was on one end of the bar. They were taking a break. Okay, we're gonna do this scene again. And she looked at him and she gave him a toast, and he gave her a toast. So she does acknowledge.
Yeah, that should be considered an extra, like an extra bonus.
Well, no, he was over.
Acknowledgement should be considered an extra bonus. Right. You should be taxed on that. Maybe taxed.
I got to ask the union about that.
Okay. That should be considered your extra for the month.
Right. I figured. I was thinking the little Jennifer Lopez story. Now back to the Apes again.
Back to Planet Apes. I don't know how we got to Jennifer Lopez, but this is great. Yeah. So Planet Apes I thought it was a beautiful, well-written, beautiful movie, which means a lot of you people won't see it.
Okay, what's the thing about the little girl Nova? Nova was a character in the original Planet of the Apes franchise.
Yeah, she was, I think, like a slave girl.
Oh, a slave girl. Okay.
Yeah, she was mute and stuff like that.
Okay, Nova was right.
Yeah, because most of the humans in that period were all slaves, I guess, and they were all mutes.
Okay, that's the original concept, right?
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm comparing.
Yeah, and they brought it. Spoilers, and they brought it back.
Okay, well, actually, the new series of the Apes.
Yeah.
Everything relates to the original franchise, and they took a lot of the concepts.
Right. Nova comes back, right? But she's mute.
Okay.
And during their travels, they meet certain humans who are mute.
Okay, and that's the original concept of the original franchise back in 1968. Well, Taylor and his astronauts land.
Yes.
The first human beings they confront are mutes.
Yes.
Because they how do you say, the concept of they went backwards. The apes became talkable, having a society, and the humans became like mute slave savages.
Like animals, right?
Yeah, exactly. So my question is, they're still carrying that concept from the original movie.
Yes.
Okay.
You're seeing it.
Okay.
It's in the works.
Now, you weren't crazy about the movie, or you were crazy about the movie?
I wasn't crazy about it. I loved it. I thought it was good. It was no Logan. To me, Logan was here.
Right.
Planet Apes was close to it, but I'm just saying it was.
Okay.
A lot of people may see it as a little wishy-washy.
Oh, okay.
It might be a little wishy-washy.
But they said this is supposed to be the darkest out of all the new ape movies.
Yeah, but they have to get a little wishy-washy, like Logan did.
Yeah.
They have to get a little wishy-washy in order to get violent. which the violence comes at the end, big time violence.
Right.
But they have to
for the payoff.
Yes, exactly. You just can't make it straight through violent, like one of those American concepts. It has to be wishy-washy.
Okay.
You have to have a reason to do it. You have to I'm saving children.
Okay.
Like that concept. Oh, I'm saving children. The only reason why I cut off this guy's head because I was saving her. I was saving her. Well, how was he going to hurt her? I don't know. I just had to cut his head off, but I saved her. Now she doesn't have to live in a world with this piece of garbage.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. I can go along with that.
Because he was a piece of garbage.
Okay.
And I don't want her living in a world with this piece of garbage.
Right.
There you go. That's my defense.
Because you did it for the children.
Yes, for the children, Dad.
Always do it for the children.
It's for the children.
And Grandma, if she's still part of the picture.
Yep. Let's talk about Spider-Man if we could wrap up. Because I know that the time constraints with the DVD.
Yes. Okay.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Real quick. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, and what's happening is at the box office right now. This is going to relate to a question I'm going to ask Mark right now. Okay. Friday. Apes has made 22 million compared to Spidey 13 million, and the feedback is that Spidey is another reboot, but then again, so is Apes is a continuing sequel, okay, in the franchise. At the end of this week,
it's a second reboot,
right? 65 million. The prediction is for Apes is 65 million, and poor Spidey only 40 million. For those who have not seen Spider-Man or Apes, which one would you recommend?
They're two different movies. They're completely two different movies. Like if you like the sappiness of it all, and you want to see a sappy superhero film, it's different than seeing a war picture. The other one is sort of like seeing a war picture with a sappy going towards. Oh, I don't want to kill these unarmed villagers, but I have to just because we have to save our ape way or something like that. Some sappy thing like that.
Right.
But Spider-Man is like, hey, everybody, let's go see Lucky Go Spider-Man. He's not killing anything. It's not a big war. He's going to be Spider-Man. It's all going to be happy.
Now, of course, I'm talking about people who are not really sci-fi fans, or really superhero fans.
Yes, two different
things.
Groups.
People just want to see a flip because it's freaking hot outside.
Right. The young kids aren't going to probably want to see Apes because they're like, apes, meeps. But the young kids, they're like, oh my God, this is close to like Minions. It's all happy-go-lucky. I love it. For the children.
I happen to like Spider-Man. They finally got the tone right, and it was a fun movie.
I just thought they dragged it on too long. They wasted too much time with, his girlfriend. Will he not? Will they get together? Will they not? It was almost like an episode of Cheers.
Right. As a matter of fact, his girlfriend there, that's
Cheers?
No, the one in this movie there, Zendaya. She's the one in The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Yeah. So she, they're building her career up, and she got this flick. She's gonna have, they're trying to build her up the same way with Rihanna. She did Battleship, which is stinker, and now she's going to be in
Valeria?
Yeah.
City of 1,000 Planets?
Which got 1,000 really bad reviews, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, just by seeing the trailers of it, I didn't get the concept of what the movie was. In the trailers, it looks visually beautiful, but it makes no sense.
So you have no faith in it?
Nope.
Nope.
It looks beautiful, but from what I see...
Yeah,
I don't even know what it's about.
Luc Besson is a great director. He's great visually. He's great with science fiction. He's got one little teensy-weensy, itsy-bitsy little problem. He likes to write his own scripts. He needs writers, okay? He should not be writing his own scripts.
So he's like pulling a TMZ.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
Jeebus.
Okay.
We better wrap it up because I guess your DVD.
I had another trivia, but I'd save it for the blog, whatever.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Apes is going to beat Spidey this weekend. Next weekend is going to be Dunkirk. That's a picture that was done back in the 1940s with Richard Attenborough. He played John Hammond in Jurassic Park. Remember the old man with the beard and the cane?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another remake, but this time they got the budget. If you want to see the original black and white, I believe it's on YouTube. Unless they took it down, but the whole bitch action sequence is at like the last 30 minutes. Now in Dunkirk, what Christopher Nolan did was he based the whole picture on the actual the actual area of Dunkirk. The black and white version focuses on this battalion that meets the soldiers who get stuck at Dunkirk. So it's a little bit slow at the beginning. But if you're not interested in seeing the war movie, but you kind of curious, but you were curious for for a history project, you can see the original 1948, I believe, 1950. Just look at the IMDb Dunkirk, a black and white film. I believe it's on YouTube. Okay.
So they're trying to sort of like cover up a history, lesson by making it into a movie. Fool people to learn something.
You can say it that way, yeah. So,
okay.
But that's what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, and then after that,
who knows if Spider-Man doesn't beat what do you call it, Planet of the Apes? Maybe the sequel might be that Spider-Man beats an ape.
One last thing. The Vulture, Michael Keaton does a great job. Two people, John Malkovich. Believe it or not, this was Sam Raimi was supposed to do the pictures. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's supposed to be a number 4. Oh
my God, John Malkovich would have been great as a Vulture.
He got fitted and it didn't work out. Bruce Campbell was going to become Mysterio at number 4, and then they had what was his name? He played Mandarin. Was it he played Gandhi?
Oh yeah, that guy. Ben Kingsley.
Thank you. And he tried to be the Vulture. Okay, and that didn't work out.
No, it would have definitely been better with John Malkovich because he's good at playing insane. I don't know where he learns how to be a good insane character.
Right.
It probably just comes out of nowhere.
Method acting, folks.
Yes.
Yeah. So two actors.
Don't hurt me, John Malkovich.
Okay, 2 actors that previously they actually fitted the costume on. That's how they were ready to play the role, and the contracts got canceled at the last minute. Excuse me. And then, but Michael Keaton, I think, did a great job. We finally get to see the Vulture, and
which actually Spider-Man's first villain, major villain.
Exactly. Okay. The only one they haven't got to yet is Kraven the Hunter. They still haven't explored that because in this movie they mention one guy has a scorpion on his neck, correct?
Right.
There you go. So they're catching up to all these other villains finally, and the Sinister Six is mentioned, I think.
Yeah.
They're pointing a hint to it.
Yeah, they're hinting at it.
So okay.
With the other characters in the movie.
Right. So they're going that direction, but at least we finally got to see the Vulture.
Yes.
Okay, that's it, folks.
That's a wrap.
We're going to be on in 2 weeks. We're going to do more of a wrap up and catching up with all these movies. And then I don't know what's going to happen in August. We're going to do maybe one show in August, and then we'll be back maybe in September, mainly because there's nothing else to really talk about, unless we're going to be talking about TV shows.
Yeah, why not? Well, with our encouragement, they'll probably get some better ideas.
Yeah, I mean, look at the list. It was all sequels, reboots, prequel in there somewhere.
Maybe all the best things came out in the 70s, and from that point, everybody skipped the beat like a broken record.
Yeah, I mean, I thought last year was tough. This was tough, and it wasn't not only that with the sequels and prequels and all that stuff, but there weren't very good movies. And nobody was asking for a lot of these movies, and the box office showed it.
Hey, but they're beautifully stunning, visually made films. It's like beautiful visual arts. It's like cocaine for the eyes.
Oh God, give me a break, Lord! Oh Lord Jesus, I can't take this.
I guess we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're out of here, folks.
Yes. Wrap it up, and we do a freeze frame. Say our goodbyes.
We're gonna do the freeze frame bit.
Yes.
Okay.
This has been Frank. This is Mark. Adios. Till next time.
See you at the movies. Not.
Yeah, maybe we'll stay home.
Netflix and binge.
Oh, right.
That's all.
Yep. Eventually, we'll avoid Netflix.
Shit, everybody's going to Netflix.
No, I'm saying eventually we're going to start avoiding Netflix because they're putting a lot of horrible things on Netflix.
There's like a ton of listings from Netflix stuff coming up.
Yeah.
The next few weeks, the next month, just hope that the advertisements in there for them. I'm surprised.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For Netflix?
Yeah, I think.